Hi, welcome to History of Jackson. I'm Jackson, your host. This is my YouTube channel. It's my new YouTube channel. I wanted to make a YouTube channel where I could talk about history. I could talk about some of the books that I've read. I can review certain books, and just talk about what I'm passionate about. Really, I've been passionate about history for a long time. Want to go on to do it further, a higher level, and I needed an outlet where I could talk about it and talk about what I'm researching to a larger audience, so more people can be aware of what I'm reading, learn about things alongside me. And I thought it'd be a really nice idea for myself just to learn and grow and interact with more people. So yeah, I'm a third year history student at the University of Chichester, currently doing my dissertation. I'm doing my dissertation based around the 1953 Conference on Totalitarianism. Really interesting topic. It's all about the codification of the idea of totalitarianism, what it encompasses, and what was involved in it, and who was involved in making those decisions on what totalitarianism includes. It's a really interesting topic. I'd encourage anyone to go and look at it and research it. It's fantastic. So across my 3 years, I've looked at medieval history, I've looked at Renaissance history, Reformation, covering papal encyclicals, monastic orders, religious things, looking at politics in the modern era, like making politics in Britain, from a whole host of variety of things, and that's what I'm really interested in and want to talk about on this channel. So my favourite type of histories changed considerably, or not very considerably. I've taught about I read and talk about a whole variety of things. So I've looked at Alfred in a pre 1000 pre Norman conquest. Quite interested in that. I've looked at politics from the Henry VIII. I've got Henry VIII books here by Alison Ware. Quite interested in War of the Roses as well. It's one of my favourite topics. But what I'm currently specialising in and want to specialise in at master's level is totalitarianism. I think it's quite an interesting subject. I've read the works of Arendt, I've read Carl J. Friedrichs, and they're things that really interest me and things that I think more people should be looking into and researching, because it's something that strikes a chord with today. I came into this interest from reading Orwell in 1984, so it is something that's accessible and something that people can look at, learn about, and read quite easily, and find ways into it. So part of the reason why I wanted to do this channel, touched upon it as well, is next year I want to go on to a master's. So I'm currently looking at what master's degrees I want to do, where I want to go, and so on. So any advice, that'd be great. And I just wanted another place where people can learn about the things or listen to the things that I'm learning. Currently, all my essays and stuff are only really read by the people who are proofreading my essays, and my lecturers and people in my department. So it's not a very broad audience for my work, and I'd love to have more people looking at it, reading it, and learning it. So that's part of the reason why this idea for this channel. So I can teach people about what I'm interested in. I could teach people, different aspects across history, because I am interested across the whole variety, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. So please subscribe if you're interested in this and listening to me yabbering on. I will get better. I'm quite nervous because it is a new thing for me. So yeah, please let me know. So in terms of look at my favourite history books now. So my favourite history books is, I'm going to bring them out. So first of all is this one that I'm doing for my dissertation. So it's Totalitarianism, Proceedings of a Conference held at the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, March 1953. It's a fantastic book. It's by Harvard University Press. It's a conference that was held, and it was all the essays from that conference were compiled into a book, and it's got some fantastic, really big names in the world of politics and history and political theory, such as George Kennan, Carl J. Friedrichs, Waldemar Gurin, I hope I pronounced that right, Bertrand D. Wolfe, and many more as well. Looks at the psychology, the economy, relationship with the arts. It's a fantastic book, and I first came across it in the first edition, which is quite battered, from the library. Used it for an essay that I did on totalitarianism as an ideology in second year. I think it really helped me. Really helped me. I used essays by Friedrichs. I used essays by Alex Inkeles, if I can see it. Jerzy G. Glicksman for that essay. I think it really helped because I looked at the tenets of totalitarianism, and I combined two primary sources to research it. So I looked at The Foundations of Leninism by Stalin, and I looked at Mein Kampf by Hitler. So that was one of my favourite essays that I've done, and definitely one of my favourite history books I've ever used. In terms of like what I've looked at, it's definitely one of the most complete books that I've used for an essay. But it's definitely one of my favourite history books. Probably followed by, if I can find it, yes. Under the loving care of the Farley leader, North Korea and the Kim Dynasty. It's by Bradley K. Martin. Looks at the development of North Korea from pre-Civil War, or the pre-Korean War, right up until Kim Jong-il. It's very, very good. Bradley K. Martin is he's a journalist, worked in Asia. He visited North Korea several times to write this book. It's a fantastic book. It's really well written. It's quite accessible, easy to read once you've gotten into it. I definitely recommend that to anybody else who wants to learn about North Korea. I'll hopefully be using this for my dissertation, tapping into it for more resources and more information. So I definitely recommend that. And then the way that I got into history was through Horrible Histories by Terry Deary. I've always been interested in history from a very young age, and I've read numerous history books on the Horrible History series. One of my favourites was Bloody England. I think it's Bloody England. Where it looked at the history of England from Norman Conquest, maybe pre-Norman Conquest, right until the beginning of Elizabeth II. It's fantastic and really got me into it. So with same with Our Island Story by, if I can get that, here we go, H.E. Marshall. It's one of the first books that really got me into British history. Quite old now. Yeah, first published in 1905, but it's a fantastic book. It's a very good way of getting into British history, learning about, kings and queens, the politics of the era. So many interesting things that go on. This one actually goes on from Albion and Brutus, the very big, the mythical beginnings of Britain as an island, as a country. So it's a fantastic read to follow the development of the nation. So from those early readings, Horrible Histories, Our Island Story, I went on to do GCSE history, A-level history and politics. I did Russians and War of the Roses, which is where my interest now developed from. So I've looked at autocracy, I've looked at politics of different eras, politics of different historical periods as well. So it's really, I find history is really interesting. There's always something there for anyone in history. So if you're interested in Stuarts, there's always something to look at. There's interested in witches, there's always something to look at. Interested in gender throughout history, there's always something. There's great, fantastic historians who work in every area and every period. So there's always something out there for everyone. Even if you like geography, even if you don't like history, there's always something there that will pique your interest. I think that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching my video. Apologise for being a bit nervous. It is my first one. Hopefully I will get better, get more comfortable with it. I want to thank you for watching my video. Hopefully thank you for subscribing. It would be great if you can continue to subscribe and watch these videos. Hopefully I can get a video up next week and we can move from there. Thank you very much.